All right, I hope you enjoyed that recording of Bitsch's first etude. This is a very difficult etude for me. I know a lot of you have tried it, and it can be difficult for you as well. One of the main challenges that I felt I had to overcome was simply just the speed of the etude. The written tempo of this etude is 132 beats per minute, which is just too fast for a performance even, let alone the fact that I can't do it at that speed. So I personally chose to try to aim for around 116 beats per minute for my performance, feeling like that was a nice balance between getting some speed, but also making sure that some music could be played as well. One exercise that I use to combat the single tongue speed issues in this etude and just in general to improve my single tongue speed is going to be Chris Gecker's 1 minute drill. Now, this is a super simple drill. All you do is set a metronome, you tongue 16th notes at the metronome speed for 1 minute straight. That's it. When you need to breathe, you just breathe. It's not about necessarily trying to make it the whole minute. Rather, we're just gonna tongue for longer than we usually do to tax the tongue in a different way. For the purposes of this video, I actually recorded myself playing the entire minute. So if you watch for 15 seconds and you get the gist of it, go ahead and skip on ahead. You won't offend me. But here is me performing the 1 minute drill for the entire minute. The way I use this for progression is I simply just keep it in my routine every single month, and I will gradually increase the tempo 2 beats per minute, 4 beats per minute each month, with the hopes that in 6, 8, 10, 12 months from now, I'll be in a dramatically different place than I am right now. Another one of the difficulties that I faced working on this etude is simply making sure that I'm playing healthy on the trumpet while playing very, very short. You'll notice that there's these sliver articulations in this. In French music, to me, that means incredibly short. French music is already somewhat short and articulate, but this articulation means about as short as you can get away with. So it becomes difficult for me to blow through this, to play healthily, feel like my air is driving it without playing short and chopping things up. To combat that, I use a process I learned from Barbara Butler during my time at Northwestern University called the Magic 3. This is a 3-step process. That's why it's called the Magic 3. And the first step is going to be playing the etude or the material you're working on and slurring the entire thing. This is the first step of the Magic 3 as applied to the first 4 bars of Bitsch 1. What I'm aiming for when I'm slurring everything is keeping it even, connected, there's no hitches, and I also feel that nothing is actually interrupting my airstream at all. There's a bit of a balance of sound and feel for me when I'm developing this step, and so I know that if I can feel and it sounds like every note is even, I know that this step is good to go and I'm ready to move on to the next. The second step of the Magic 3 is going to be like the slur, except we're going to add articulation. This is basically going to help make sure that we're not chopping the air up in between notes, but rather we're learning how to blow through everything, but still coordinate the articulations. This is what the second step of the Magic 3 sounds like as applied to the first 4 bars of Bitsch 1. My goals for this are pretty simple. I just want to make sure it sounds like the slurred version, but my articulations are even and consistent. I don't want anything to interrupt the flow, but I do want to make sure that my articulations have as much of a pop as I can get in this sort of very long and legato phase. Once I feel like I'm able to do that consistently and it's easy, I'm ready to move on to the third and final step of the Magic 3. The third and final step of the Magic 3 is going to be playing the music like normal. Short notes are going to be short, long notes are going to be long, we're going to play loud, we're going to play soft, we're going to slur where it says to, etc. This is just going to make sure that we have a chance to show up and work on the music the way it is. But because we've had those first two steps, that's going to help make sure that at least in our mind, we can pretend we're slurring or we can pretend we're really blowing through everything so that we can ensure that although we're playing short and kind of secco and disconnected, that our air is still connecting and that we're still playing with good, healthy trumpet habits. Here's what the third step of the Magic 3 sounds like. Like I was saying, the Magic 3 is an incredibly powerful tool to make sure that we're going to play with good, healthy trumpet habits and that we have good, air-driven playing and even the most technically difficult passages. Now, I want you to notice that in those demonstrations that I did, I played things quite under tempo, and this is because I believe no matter what tools you use, no matter what strategies you apply, starting slow, especially on an etude like this, it pretty much goes without saying. A common problem that I have run into in the past that I just don't even have to worry about anymore is making a lot of mistakes at the beginning because I'm just playing at tempo, making lots of mistakes, banging my head up against the wall, and just hoping that someday it's going to get better. And an etude like this especially, that will never work. We need to make sure we slow things down and we hear the rhythms, we hear the notes, we hear the weird angular nature of this, we hear the weird harmonies, and we know where we're headed. And the only way to do that is to slow things down, put a microscope on it, and make sure we're really zoomed in on all of the details of the etude, not just the general gist of what's going on. I personally have a process that I apply to all the etudes that I learned, which was incredibly helpful to being able to do it. And it essentially begins with very slow, almost half-tempo practice. So if that's not something you do, I highly encourage you to incorporate that into your learning as just something you do no matter what. Very slow, very detail-oriented practice, especially at the very beginning of your learning. All right, everybody, that's going to be all for the video. I hope you enjoyed the performance of Bitsch 1, and I hope that the tips I gave were helpful. If they were, or you enjoyed it, please consider hitting the like button down below. And if you want more videos like this, the tutorials or the performances, or you just want to join a community full of people who are trying to become the best that they can be, consider hitting the subscribe button as well and the notification bell so you don't miss out on any future videos. If you're curious how I approach etudes, how I approach fundamentals, or you just want to talk about some of the struggles that you're having in your own practice, I'm going to leave a link down below where you can sign up for a free 30-minute meeting where we can talk about whatever you want, and if I can help you, I will do everything in my power to do so. Thanks so much for watching the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. Always remember, stay strong, be kind to yourself, never stop growing, and we'll see you in the next video.